Yeah, I've just been watching. I finished the ad mastery course, which was cool. Which is like,
Congratulations.
all of this is so new to me because I am so not like technologically inclined. So this is all brand new to me. So
Perfect. And you know why that's actually so cool? One of the things that we learned at the event this weekend, some of the things I'll be sharing with you today is I actually joined this other program that helps teach high-ticket sales because I'm going to be getting on a lot of phone calls, closing sales for you guys, helping you guys to make sales. And one of the things they say in there is it's actually better if we take someone who has no sales experience because they have an empty cup, right? You don't have a
yeah,
full
yeah.
cup that you're trying to like pour in other water and like replace the water. It's like, okay, we have an empty cup. Your mind is open to be full and just receive the information. What up, Kai?
What's up?
Kai was actually there this weekend. So he can kind of back up some of the things I was saying. There he is. What up, man?
How's it going?
Loving life. And so we are now recording, so let's go ahead and dive in. Kai, as I was just telling these guys and girls, we're going to be focusing on some of the mindset stuff from this weekend, some of the productivity hacks that can help make your business take off in ways that aren't necessarily so technical, but are ways that can really apply to your whole life. And as a side effect, your business just operates better. So I'm going to kind of be impromptu going through some of the notes from this weekend, but we'll be sharing a lot of good stuff. This is coming from millionaire mentors, people that have made 6, 7, 8 figures online, doing something pretty similar to what we're doing today and have taught others how to do the same. And the number one thing I want to start off with is congratulating you guys for being here. Congratulate you guys for showing up to the call tonight, because the most important thing in this business and really anything that you want in life is your environment, right? You've heard all the sayings, right? You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. What are some other ones, right? You hang out with 4 millionaires, you'll become the 5th. Your network is your net worth, right? You guys heard some other ones? Let's make this interactive. Have you heard any other ones like this?
Show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
Boom. That's a great one. Jonathan, anything from you guys? Kelsey, Carol? You guys heard any sayings like this?
Evil company corrupts good moral. That's a good one.
What's that?
Evil company corrupts good moral. So the opposite.
That's one. Yeah, exactly.
So opposite's true.
Kelsey, you're on mute. I don't know if you were saying something. If you're talking to your kid and you just want to be on mute, that's cool.
I know, yeah. Yeah, I was talking to my kid.
Okay,
Sorry.
No worries. So basically, you
I'll
guys
unmute it if I got something to say.
Perfect. Alrighty. So basically, you guys have heard sayings like this, right? You're gonna become like the people you spend the most time with, and your environment is destiny, right? And so we found. I remember in the beginning when I was starting off on this, I would do my best to show up to every call like this, Tuesday night, Wednesday night calls. We didn't have these Sunday night calls in the beginning when I got started. So you guys, this is kind of an added bonus for being part of Team Masterminds here that you get in addition for working with Jake, Anton, myself, and the rest of us in here. But really what it's getting around to is you're going to become like the people you spend the most time with. So in your everyday life, I'm curious to hear, like, what are the people like that you hang out with? Are they generally positive, or are there some people that are maybe telling you, hey, what's this online stuff? I don't know about this. You still doing that Facebook stuff? How's that going for you, right? And they're just kind of questioning you. They're doubting you, and they're trying to tell you that you can't do that because they have no idea what they're talking about. They've never done it themselves, so they want to tell you you can't do it. Anybody have experience with this?
Yes.
Yes.
I think like family and friends are the most skeptical.
Yes, exactly. And it's often the people that love us most that are often our greatest kryptonite, right? It's the same thing with my parents. And we actually had an interesting exercise, which I'll have you guys go through briefly here, but more in depth on your own if you want to take this to the next level. And it was really interesting. It's saying, take a look back through your messenger, your direct messages, your texts, whatever else, your phone calls. And as you're looking through that, look for the last 7 days and see who were the people that you've communicated with in the last 7 days, right? And as a result of that, you're going to go ahead and go through and list people out. So if we can briefly do that, I'll give you about a minute here to just do it off the top of your head. We're not going to have time. If you guys want to really deep dive into this later, that's going to be a good thing. This includes coworkers. This includes family. This includes spouse or significant other or whatever else. Just kind of map out who you're talking to and who you've been communicating for the last week. So I'll give you a minute to go ahead and map that out. If you got a piece of paper, that'd be great. Go ahead and do that there. Kai, if you go ahead and mute yourself.
There we go.
There we go. Okay.
Sorry, my laptop was almost dead, so I was changing to my phone.
Perfect. No worries. So if you guys got a piece of paper or a pen, go ahead and map out just off the top of your head the people you've been talking to, communicating with, associating with over the last week. This is a really, really powerful exercise. And for those of you guys watching the recording right now, as you're watching this, I encourage you to go through the exercise as well. These guys are getting it live in training, and as you watch it later, you have the same ability to go through and get the same profound impact. So take this time right now to go ahead and get on your paper, take out a pen, and really map this out. And if you're watching the recording, go ahead and pause the video. Really take the time to go through your messages, go through your DMs, go through your texts, think through the people that you work with, and just go ahead and write down as exhaustive a list as you can. So let's dive in on the live call here. So basically, you have in front of you a list of your environment, of the people you're spending the most time with. Now, as you go through, as you see that list, it's fascinating to realize that not everybody really has your back or encourages your dreams or goals, do they? Me, yes or no, if you guys are with me here.
Nope.
No? No? Kelsey?
The majority of people do, I guess.
That's great. And so to round out this exercise, what we're going to do is every person who is not supporting your dreams or goals or questioning you or telling you that you shouldn't be doing it, not just in this, but in anything in life. People that are just generally negative, that are focusing more on complaining than being positive and raising you up, telling you how great you can be, why don't you go ahead and put an X next to their name. So go ahead and take a minute now. If you got the list written out, if it's just mental, that's not going to be as powerful. I encourage you to go through later and really dive deep into this. But go ahead and put an X next to each name that is not supporting your dreams, goals, visions, being positive, raising you up. There we go. And if you guys are at home watching the recording, go ahead and pause the video. Make sure to do this. Really map it out. The more you put into this, the more you'll get out of it. Now, let's go ahead and dive into the other side. Those people that are supporting you, that are raising you up, that are telling you what you can accomplish. And this includes online. This includes the team call that you're on right now, the people that you're associating with right now. Hopefully showing up to the Tuesday, Wednesday night team calls. You know those guys and girls are supporting you or raising you up to accomplish your dreams and really helping you get there. So go ahead and put a check next to their name if they're helping you out. Love seeing the engagement here. Love seeing you guys getting after it and actually doing the exercise. That's the only way it works. All right, and I see you guys looking up, so perfect. Basically, what you have in front of you, that's pretty powerful if you've actually taken the time to write it down, and you're really seeing who in your environment is raising you up and who in your environment is kind of pulling you down. And it's fascinating what one of our mentors pointed out. Actually, pretty much every mentor pointed this out, is if you want to live the life of your dreams, right, if you want to quit your job, if you want to be able to travel the world, if you want to spend more time with the people that you love, if you want to take better care of your body, if you want to not wake up to alarm clocks, if you want to live in an ideal location that really makes you feel, hopefully you guys are already feeling very grateful every single day, hopefully reading the magic, waking up first thing, writing out some of the things you're grateful for so you go into the day with the energy of positivity and really attract more of the things that are good in your life. Hopefully that's already happening. But if you really want to take this to the next level, then it's really about being around people who are already doing that and are encouraging you to do that. So they might not necessarily be there yet, but they are at least bringing you up and doing that. Now, to this point, every single thing that we take in impacts us. It impacts the way we think. It impacts the way we act. It impacts the way that we move throughout the world, which is why I'm going to add the news to this list. If you guys are watching the news, you kind of notice that 95% of what they're talking about is negative, right?
Yep.
Right. What's wrong in the world? What terrorist event is happening now? What E. coli breakout's going on? It's all negative. It's all negative. If you haven't already, I strongly encourage you, don't even listen to me. Listen to every millionaire mentor who's talking about it. Cut that shit out of your life. I know the kids there. Cut it out.
Yes.
Yeah, I got you. The thing is, like, the human brain, we're wired for one thing, it's survival. And because of that, and this is strong in your copy, this applies to the words that you write, this applies to the way you communicate with people, humans respond 2.5 times stronger to getting away from pain than moving towards pleasure. It's unfortunate, but that's why the news is all focused on negative. It's focused on pain. It gets attention. It brings people back, right? But the problem with that is, while we're watching the news, we are wired to think that the world is negative, right? And it's the same thing with the people we're spending our time around. So if you're spending time around people that are complaining all day, they're telling you that life is hard and it's a challenge, exercising's tough, and they're eating out at fast food restaurants and not eating the foods you want to eat. And their life basically consists of going to happy hour afterwards and not really doing anything positive. You become like the people you spend the most time with, right? You start to take on those mindsets, and their BS starts to become your attitude. Whether it's completely subconscious, it's not what you want, but basically what you have in front of you is a list of influences in your life that if you really take the time to look at it and realize what it's doing for you, you may start to edit some relationships. When I was living in Northern Virginia, when I started this business, working from a Goodwill couch with a Goodwill fold-out table on a 2012 Dell laptop with a USB keyboard plug in because the E key was broken, right? Completely different world out there, but I loved the people I was living with, right? 4 college roommates, lived with them for half a decade. I had a girlfriend who I expected to spend the rest of my life with. Absolutely incredible relationship. And that was the hardest thing, was leaving that. But I knew that to get where I wanted to go, I had to be around people that were doing the things I wanted to do and allow me to think in the way that would allow me to succeed. So that's why being here is so powerful on these calls, because you're going to hear a different set of beliefs, of attitudes, and of behaviors toward life than you will in the rest of your daily life. So as much as you guys can hear, new environment creates new growth, right? Let me think. New environments create new breakthroughs. That was one of the things they talked about at this event. So being at these team calls, this is a new environment. This is being around people that are doing the things you want to do and are going to raise you up and tell you what you can do instead of what you can't do, like the news, like many of the people around you. So this is so crucial to surround yourself with that environment. And on this list, if people have an X next to them, then you really have just a couple choices, right? You can either allow their BS to affect you, keep having the same relationship that you have with them. You can completely cut them from your life, which is what is encouraged in many cases. Or you can do, like, for example, my parents will never see this, so it's crazy. I mapped out a list of like 20 people. I've cut freaking everybody, right? That is a negative influence. Like when we go through this exercise now, it's checks, just checks. My parents are the only ones who are kind of like, what's this online thing? I don't know. Maybe she a real job. It's the people that love us the most, that want to take care of us, that sometimes can be our biggest kryptonite or bringing us down, just because they want us to be safe. They want us to do the things they did. It's not because they don't love us. So in that case, right, I'm not going to cut the relationship with my parents. I love my parents, right? I'm sure you guys have people in your life that love you very much, and you're not going to cut them out. But it's saying, how can we edit this relationship to say, let's talk about this other stuff, and we can have a loving family relationship there, or a loving friend relationship here. When it comes to this, you can do what Harvey Specter says, or no, it's Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr., right? It's smile, nod, agree, then do whatever the fuck you were gonna do anyway. Is the kid there?
No, he's not. You're good.
Perfect. Perfect. So it's like, it's not even worth getting in an argument with these people. It's like, all right, cool. Thanks for your opinion. Do whatever you're going to do. It. Like, you can't let their negativity affect you or pull you off your course, because it is going to drag you to the ground. So you can have all the Facebook marketing techniques you want. You can go through the Facebook ads mastery and like everything, right? You can learn all this stuff. But if you have people telling you that you can't do it, and your belief while you're going through and creating those ads and everything else is that this isn't going to work, because you have people around you that you trust or believe in or care about that are telling you that you're doing the wrong thing, there's going to be a disconnect. And I don't care how good your marketing techniques are, it's probably not going to work, right? So this is so crucial, is getting clear on this environment, on who you're allowing to be an influence in your life. So that's to bring it all back to what I was talking about earlier, why I had to leave Virginia, leave those roommates, those people I cared about so much, that were playing video games and watching Family Guy every night, while I had to lock myself in my room and like read David Ogilvy and like different copywriting books and go to the webinars, right? To show up to these things and be around a better environment, and to move out here to be around people that are doing the things I want to do, because you're going to become like the people that you spend the most time with. And I'm spending time living with a millionaire here in his estate. I live with Anton. Like, you think that changes the mental associations? You think that changes the belief I have in myself and in the way I go through life, right? Like, if you're around people that are exercising more, you're going to exercise more. If you're around people going to happy hour more, you're going to go to happy hour more. Straight up. It's like, what do you want? And how can you spend the most time around those people that are doing the things you want? Which is why showing up to these team calls is so crucial. So I think I've kind of wrapped that up a little bit, that environment for it, but I really wanted to drive this home because this is so crucial. This is like the #1 law of success. Like, you will become like the people you spend the most time with. So spend more time with those people that are on check marks, spend more time showing up to these team calls Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, Sunday nights, spend more time in the group chats with us. Hopefully you create a mastermind group with other people in these groups. Talk with other people doing it that are going to raise you up, and just don't let those other influences affect you, or even cut relationships with many people who are maybe dragging you down. You're like, this guy or girl is actually a loser. I love them, but they're a loser, right? I had one of my roommates, love him to death. He's not doing anything with his life. I can't keep a relationship with him. I can't keep up. I can't associate with him. I can't allow that to drag me down. He's just not going anywhere. Great dude, great guy, love him, spend a lot of time with him. Sorry, we don't talk. It's nothing personal. It's just like, if you really want to make this happen, there are some sacrifices, because as you rise up levels, many of the people aren't going to rise with you, which is unfortunate at times. But you're going to find yourself associating with people that are more positive, that are more healthy, that are more happy, that are more energized, and that are actually doing the things that you want to do, and you'll make new friends. And that's kind of scary. And that's one of the reasons why many people don't make it, because in our mind, we think this is a mental block. This is kind of along the same lines, but something in addition that really holds us back. This is actually something I learned from Michael Burnoff, the $2,500 event a couple weekends ago. Right, when we rise up a level of income, when we rise up, when we start, when we quit our job, right, when we start traveling around, when you start lifting in the middle of the day and doing really cool Instagram stories, people are like, what are you doing, right? Like, that's crazy. What are you doing? You got some explaining to do, right? People are going to question you, and that's scary for many people. That was scary for me. You got some explaining to do, right? You're not the same person. And so that can be scary. It's like, we're in this box of who we are, and one of the greatest needs is to act in accordance with our self-image and with the image that other people have of us, right? And so if other people are expecting us to be this one person, and we're trying to rise above, then you see how you're kind of stuck there? That's why I had to leave Virginia, right? They all expected me to be this one person, and I knew inside that I was actually someone completely different. When I was at events, when I was around other mentors, when I was around other people, I was this charismatic guy. I was moving around. I was making introductions. I was like a mini celebrity at this event. Guys got a little smile on. I got to speak on stage at this event like a different person. And then I go back home, and they expect me to be this person. And I realize I'm less energized. I'm talking less interesting because I'm just the same person they expected me to be, because it's who I've always been. You know what I mean? Okay, good. Is this helpful so far? I know I'm kind of going all over the place. Give me a yes. Okay, I see some nods. Good, good. I know it's not Facebook ads and all the technical stuff, but hopefully this stuff is like actually life-changing stuff. The Facebook ads and that stuff's all good and well, and we'll go into that later. We'll review your ads. We'll talk through all that a little later. So, okay, that's a great start. This is another kind of mental block that we're going to need to get over and really, really change if we want to take this to the next level. Because we are right now, people think we're in the water business. People think we're in the GAZ, the Make Money Online business. What we're really in is the people business. It's communicating, it's connecting with people, right? People are going to buy into you. They're going to buy into the way you communicate. So on your ads, this kind of goes back to the ads. This goes back to the way you communicate with people. They're buying into you. So don't start writing about GAZ and this 90% done for you. Blah, 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 blah. Who gives a Nobody cares. Nobody gives a damn about your product. They don't care about GAZ. They don't care about your special water. They don't care. They're buying into you. They buy into the way you make them feel, right? So in your ads and anything else, communicate in a way that connects with you and makes them want to be part of what you're a part of. We're selling them to be a part of something greater, a part of what you're doing, a part of what GAZ is doing, not because it's 90% done for you, automated, online, blah, blah, blah. They're buying because they want to be part of something, because they're bored, because they don't have a purpose or meaning that they're waking up to in the morning. They're going through the motions on repeat, day after day, week after week. And it's like, how can we pull them out? How can we give them a vision to work towards? So instead of floating like a leaf in the wind, they're more like an eagle that can control their direction. Move with the wind, which will throw you around, but have direction. People wake up and they go to work, and you ask 19 out of 20, and they have no idea why. We're giving them a purpose. We're giving them a meaning. That was actually a real study that was done by Jim Rohn. The people have no idea. They have no idea why they do the things they do. And then they're 65, and they're like, where did life go? It's crazy. So we are helping them to be a part of something. We're helping them buy into a movement where they can be like, we need their help. I need your help to share this water with the world. I need your help to transform people's lives. I need your help to give people purpose and direction. I need your help to get people started in personal development so they can go through life with an attitude of gratitude, so they can love themselves and better love others, so that they can take better care of their health. We need your help to share this mission and message. If you see how different that is from 90% done for you and buying a business and GAZ, right? Right? Think of yourself like presidential candidates, right? People, yeah. Oh, yeah. I see you, Jonathan. They're buying into you. They're buying into your future-based cause. You look at the last few elections, the winners had a future-based cause, whereas the losers had a here and now thing that they were trying to describe. The most recent one, I'm with her, make America great again. This has nothing to do with politics. I'm not commenting on that at all. What I'm saying is make America great again. Here's a vision for the future. What was it? I think John McCain was a proud tradition, where Obama was like hope for a better future, something like that, right? It's what are we moving towards? What are we being a part of? Where's the world going that we can be a part of and buying into you, be part of a family? We think that they're just buying in because they want to make extra money. That's a side effect. That's a side effect. People want purpose. They want a mission. They want to be a part of something. They want a community, right? Show them that. People don't, like, everyone's trying to sell, like, well, you know, I quit my job in a week, and now I'm making $10K a month and traveling the world. Like, you haven't made a sale. What are you talking about? You're going to sniff that from a mile out. Are you kidding me? We can talk about these other things that we're talking about that they actually care about. And I'll briefly skim over the 6 basic human needs. That if you can kind of hit these points, these are what people are really looking for. The needs of the personality, you're looking at certainty, right? I'm going to be able to pay the bills at the end of the month. I have certainty. I'm certain in my relationship. I'm certain in my direction. I'm certain where I'm going. Certainty. On the flip side of that, variety. I want to do something different. People are living, it's like a YouTube buffering signal. Their life's going round and round and round this circle that's not going anywhere, right? I want some variety. I want to do something different. this morning I drove back from Newport Beach with the top down, and I went and visited my girlfriend. We went out. She lives in Ocean Beach, about 2.5 blocks from the ocean, and there's so many foods there. And I love this place, Mike's Taco Stand. Amazing, right? They got this surf and shrimp or surf and Cali burrito. It's got like steak and shrimp and freaking French fries in the burrito. You get all these different sauces, just incredible. And it's right next to the. So I like want that like every time, but variety is the spice of life, and so we try to taste the different things around Ocean Beach. Like today, we went to the one right by the ocean. I had a beer, she had a Bloody Mary, right? And we were literally looking out on the ocean as we ate our lunch and all these different tacos. And we had like a shark taco today, right? Like, what is that? We had shark, like for lunch, right? And some like lobster bisque bowl. The point of this is people want something different. They want something new. They want variety. If you can appeal to that, if you can tell them, hey, this is going to be something different you've ever done. You're going to learn something new. You're going to make progress towards something. That's exciting. I want to be part of that. Cool. Next. Certainty, variety, love, and connection. Pretty self-explanatory there. At the base level, this is going to be some hippie, whatever. I've gotten very in tune with energies and stuff recently. But anyway, the highest vibrational frequency is love, right? Ultimately, underneath it all, we want to love and be loved. You can do all the marketing stuff you want. Ultimately, underneath it all, that's what we want, right? So pretty self-explanatory with that. Along with that goes significance. That's the fourth. People want to feel like their life has meaning, right? Like we're making an impact, like we're doing something. And sometimes if they're working for a boss that isn't really going anywhere, doesn't really appreciate them, doesn't let themselves create or express their creative side and really contribute to something, then they don't feel like they're very significant. They don't really feel like they're valued, right? People want to feel valued. They want to feel like their life means something. All right, so those are the needs of the personality. The needs of the spirit are growth. This is learning something new. This is making progress. This is doing, like, that's my obsession. I go to these seminars, like, my girlfriend was actually complaining. She's like, yeah, seems like you're out of town every weekend at these events. Like, I love growth, right? Some people do it in school, but they're not actually learning anything valuable. I'm doing self-education. We're growing, like, constantly. That's, for me, the highest value, right? So show people that inside they're going to grow. They're going to become a better person, right? We've noticed the 41 people that have crossed six figures, the 4 people that have crossed the $1 million mark, the 214 that have quit their jobs. They're the people that give more value to the world. They're the people that grow into the individuals that can help people more rather than the people that just try to master some marketing skills and manipulate people. They genuinely connect. They grow, right? Completely different ballgame. And lastly is contribution, right? I want to feel like we are really helping people. I know I was missing this for a long time. I was a little selfish for a while. That changed about 7 months ago, but I was fairly selfish in my life and realized that contribution, giving back to people is really one of the most gratifying things in the world, right? We're here to really make an impact on other people and to help other people's lives. And like, think about it. When you give presents on Christmas, how good does that feel, right? Feels good to help other people, right? Yeah. And so, side note on that, like, if people offer to help you with something and you say no, not only are you stopping the flow of abundance in life, you're stopping the flow of good energy and taking back and forth. You're also being, is the kid there listening?
No, you good. You good.
You're also being a dick. You're being a real asshole because you're robbing them the gift of being able to help you and contribute and to give you the gift. You know that feeling that you feel when you give the gifts? You're being a dickhead by not accepting their help. So, side note. Anyway, the point is we feel really good about helping people, and that's the last human need. So if you can talk about these points in the ads, I know this isn't technical ad stuff, but this is so much more powerful than learning some marketing techniques. This is some life-changing stuff, and this applies to all your conversations. This is not just the business at all. This applies to how you communicate with your loved ones. This applies to how you operate in your life, because you realize, oh, these are the things I actually want. I say I want a yacht, but really I want significance. I want other people to be like, oh, wow, that's amazing. I say I want like a model looking girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever else. And really it's like, I just want to be loved, right? So you see, and it kind of shifts the way you go through life. So that's the second thing. Moving on past that, a third thing I really wanted to cover today is we are in the business of making sales, right? We're in the business of helping people. We're also in the business of making sales, right? And nothing changes until a sale is made. Now, I want to kind of clarify this because many times when we hear a word that filters through our lens of experience of what our parents told us, of what happened one time with a slimy car salesman, whatever you want to call it, and it blurs our perception of everything tied to that word. So I'm going to ask you guys, let's make this interactive. When I say sales, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Jonathan, you're unmuted. I'd like to hear from everybody else as well.
Money transaction, just there you go.
Okay.
For sale.
Okay. What's the emotional thing? What like emotionally, what would you feel? Money transaction, that's good. That's right. What's like the first thing that comes to you?
Manipulative, I think.
Manipulative. Okay. So in the words of my mentor, Michael Burnoff, if you're trying to make sales, but you believe sales are manipulative, and you're a good person, right?
I like to think so.
Yeah, and you want to help people, right?
Uh-huh.
But sales is manipulative, right?
Yeah.
Great.
I think
So
that's
in
the first word I'm in.
Great. So in the words of Michael Burnoff, one of my mentors, you're fucked. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Great.
You have no idea what you signed up for. This is life changing. We're not here to learn make money online. That's a side effect. We'll talk about that. This is gonna change your whole life. Not just tonight, like your whole experience in here. All right, good. Jonathan, what else? You were about to say something.
I was gonna say, when I hear sales, I always think, especially if it seems like a good deal, my first thing comes to mind is, what's wrong with it? Why is it so cheap or free or whatever?
Okay, great.
First thing comes to mind.
Gotcha. Perfect. So we'll keep that in mind. Carol, what comes to your mind when I say sales?
Hang on. For me, sales, Slick Willie.
Was that Slick Willie?
Slick Willie.
Okay.
I can't stand to walk into a place and somebody comes up to, especially buying a car. I absolutely hate buying a car.
All right.
Because they act like I don't know anything, which the reality is I don't know anything.
Gotcha.
You don't need to tell me that.
Okay.
I already know it.
Okay. So sales.
So I get uncomfortable when I'm with or around somebody who I feel can try to take advantage of me. The other thing I don't like with it is they're not, if they have to go to somebody else to get the price, I'm sorry, forget it. They have to be you have to be a decision maker.
Gotcha.
You have to present yourself as you're the one who's can make the decision. You're the one who can help. You're the one. And so when they go back in their little room, this is why I truly hate car sales. Whereas with this, you know the value, because it all comes down
Yes.
to it's and value.
Yes. But it sounds like underneath what we're really diving into here, and this is good. That was great. I'm glad you shared that. You believe in this product, yet the idea of sales, which is the entire lifeblood of this business, nothing moves until you make a sale, is slimy. But you're a good person.
Right.
You want to help people. So again, in the words of Michael Burnoff, you're fucked. We'll change that. Don't worry about it. Thank you for sharing, Carol. Genuinely appreciate that. And I say this in the greatest way of all of love. Kai, what's up, brother?
Let's see. I'd say I think of also car sales and like maybe the Billy Mays, like, wait, there's more. Don't go. But now after the event, I also just can't stop thinking about Dan Locke.
Exactly. And okay, perfect. So I want to clear up a few things, right? If this happens so much, and this is why we're talking mindset stuff tonight, because you can have all the marketing tactics in the world, you can learn all this stuff in the world, but if your view is that sales are bad and your lifeblood of making more money is making sales, you're fucked. So we need to shift that perception before anything can change. So to start, sales actually comes from the Nordic word sale, meaning to serve. Now that's the start of it. We have these ideas, these perceptions of what salesmen or women are and what they do because of one experience. But I encourage you to think about, and this is something we bring up in the beginning of team calls, when was the last time you had a coach that really helped you? When was the last time that you bought something that you really enjoyed the process? And I'm not going to go through and get all the answers here, but I want to encourage you to think about that in the back of your mind. And I'm sure that you can imagine a time when you bought something, maybe it was a TV, I guess not a car definitely for Carol there, but it may have been something else. It may have been a house. You may have had a great real estate agent, or it may have been something online you bought on Amazon. It was just really simple, right? You've had some great experiences where you were sold and you really thanked them for that, right? You were really grateful that they sold you because you know that the value was way more than what you got. Now, we know that's true with Enagic. We know that's the case in here. We know that's the case with GAZ. They're getting infinitely more than $99 worth. I mean, the tools alone would cost at least $150 a month to run on their own, let alone be done for you. Like, forget about that, right? So you're getting it all done for you for less than you'd be paying to do it on your own. Forget all the mindset, the ongoing mentorship, the team calls, the community you get to be a part of, the $1,000 worth of trainings, and easily $1,000 worth of trainings, right? And all this other stuff that's included with it, right? We are honestly doing a huge disservice to people if we do not sell them on GAZ. That was one of the biggest things we realized at the event. It's like, basically, if you're not starting GAZ, you're fucking up, right? Like, and it's our responsibility to communicate the value with people. We have a responsibility and a duty to help people to get inside GAZ, because if nothing else, if they don't make a dime, as long as they go through, let's say you just get introduced to the book, The Magic, you go through life with more gratitude. Your entire life is shifted, right? Even if you lost money, no, that's a lesson. That's learning. That is something that shifts your life forever, right? It's the same thing with Happy Pocket Full of Money. You understand, quantum physics, we're the creator of our own realities. You go through life completely differently after reading that book. You would have never experienced it if you hadn't paid the $99. Plus, he or she who pays attention. So you're actually doing a disservice if they're trying to get it for free, because they're not going to pay attention, they're not going to care, right? Their whole life shifts on the inside. If you go through Daily Method of Operation, right, you understand, okay, I need to focus on growth. I need to focus on mindset stuff. I need to be a positive person and learn and grow and say, okay, formal education makes a living, but self-education will make you a fortune, right? Okay, I need to start doing some self-education. This is if they don't pay attention to Facebook Ads Mastery at all. They don't use the system one bit. They don't sell Enagic to anybody. Their entire life is shifted. They're going to live longer. They're going to have more vitality with their kids. They're going to be able to sleep through the night better. They're going to get rid of some of those stomach issues. They're not going to be getting sick and going to the doctor and taking days off with the people that they love or to work or wherever else. Your entire life will shift as being a part of GAZ and Enagic, and it is our duty to sell people on to get in. Now, selling is often thought of, I'm pushing this on you. I'm pushing this toward you. Buy it. I'm convincing you to buy it. Really all we're doing here is getting people's negative beliefs out of the way. They already want to be part of something different. They already want to be part of something greater than themselves. They already want to be growing. They already want to be getting toward that significance and that love and connection and gratitude. It's just a matter of us getting the blocks out of the way. It's not convincing them to get started. It's removing the hesitations, right? Which is why I strongly encourage you guys to learn. This is kind of popping on to the next thing. So one of the things we talked about at the event this weekend was the wealth triangle, right? And it starts with high income skills, right? There's many high income skills. There's Facebook ads, there's social media, there's sales on the phone or beyond. There's creating content, right? There's these different high income skills. There's copywriting, there's email copywriting. There's all these different things. And really all we're doing here is you're focusing on the one high income skill right now is copywriting. That is writing words that sell. That's not trademarks, it's not patents. It's copywriting, writing copy. Copy is words that sell, words that move people. All you're selling right now is people to register for a webinar. That's it. But you're selling them on that. So I encourage you to learn the skill of copywriting because that is your high income skill. We take care of the rest. We're a team here. We'll take care of the calls. We'll take care of all this stuff. And when you try to focus on everything, you get good at everything but not great at anything. This was my challenge. I got good at all the high income skills, running traffic, doing copywriting, email copywriting, creating web pages or sales funnels, creating a webinar that can sell, doing the sales phone calls. I got good at everything, but not great at anything. What you really want to do is focus on one lane. You get at one thing. If you played any team sports, playing one position is going to be a lot better than trying to play every position, right? Or trying to play one sport, you're going to master it a lot better than if you play a bunch of sports like I did. Got good at everything, not great at anything. Focus on your lane here, which is copywriting. This is the skill that you're working on. So the mindset, all this stuff, keep going through these team calls, but I encourage you strongly to learn the skill of copywriting, which there's plenty of books that I would read, but really what we're working on is in influence and persuasion. Now again, those are words like sales, right? Where there's negative associations. Influence, it's manipulative, it's doing all this and that, right? It's negative. I'm influencing you and everyone watching this right now, but in a very positive way. I believe. It seems like everyone's in agreement with this, right? It's learning the skills of influence and persuasion to help people rather than manipulate them. So that's basically what we're doing in copywriting. A couple books I'll strongly recommend. Influence by Robert Cialdini. That's a classic. That'll go over like 6 influence triggers. In the files section of the GAZ Facebook group is the book Hypnotic Writing. I'm rereading that right now. Great going through that the first time. Carol, have you read that? Looks like you're nodding your head. Oh, you're on mute.
I haven't read it yet, but I downloaded it today.
Perfect. Excellent. So that's one. Really, it's learning these skills of how to, first of all, we'll go through a quick copywriting equation. I know I'm kind of hopping all over. This is how humans' brains work. This is how my brain works as well. So we don't need to be all linear and boring. We're actually going to learn it and like ingrain it naturally as we go through like this. So anyway, this is a basic copywriting framework. A, I, D, A. Attention, interest, decision, action. Now, here's what many people don't realize. This is what one of my 8-figure mentors said. I know we're in sales, we're in the people business, all that good stuff. But what we're also in is, he said, what business are you in? And it's like real estate, sales, blah, 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 all these different answers. It's like, no, we're in the attention business, right? So really, as you're looking at this framework, it's A, I, D, A, right? Attention, interest, decision, action, right? If you don't grab their attention, you can't get their interest, decision, action. So it's like, it's learning stuff like this as you learn copywriting. Like that's just one little principle I wanted to show you guys. But like, that's why headlines and pictures or the video you're using is so crucial. Because if you don't grab their attention in like 2 seconds, they're scrolling through the newsfeed. You guys know how you scroll the newsfeed, right? You're scrolling, you stop, that looks interesting. Scroll, right? You gotta grab their attention. If you don't grab their attention, nothing else matters. And that happens by connecting with people. That happens with speaking their language. So, side note, hopefully this is all helpful though. Study the high income skill of copywriting, right? Later, you can work on the scalable business doing this other stuff. We're taking care of that for you, right? Don't try to do everything, please. I made that mistake. Save yourself. Copywriting. Copywriting for now. If you want to learn that other stuff later, cool. Like I'm going to be deep diving into sales. I've been studying this stuff for the last 19 months, but I'm going to be really deep diving soon because for me, that's going to be one of the highest leverage skills so I can close sales for you guys. All right, cool. So is this all making sense so far? You guys with me so far? Any questions to this point? Let me know. Just give me a thumbs up or come out if you got any questions. Okay, cool. So, all right. When it comes to making videos, if you guys are doing that, I'm hopping through the notes here, just sharing some of the greatest lessons. This is just a really short side note. Clean audio is key, all right? So if you can, get like a lapel mic, like one of the ones that you can hook on, get some clean audio. I've made videos that were like sweet, but the audio is like, you hear the wind is going, like people aren't going to listen. They just won't, right? Lighting is key as well. Make sure you're in good lighting. You're not in like a dark room in your basement. You want something that can grab their attention. And yeah, that's basic stuff. I'm not going to dive too deep into that. Yeah, yaddy. Okay.
Real quick, what was that? The name of the speaker you said or microphone you said to get?
Oh, a lapel microphone. You can get it on like Amazon for like $20.
Okay.
Just look at
Also
look at
called a
reviews.
lavalier.
What's that? Lavalier, yeah. Yep.
A lavalier.
Yep,
Microphone.
absolutely. That might actually be the real word for it. I have a lavalier mic. Lavalier lapel, I believe. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we have this mentor who grew up in communist Russia. He immigrated when he was 6, not knowing any of the language. Went through a really hellish childhood, right? Like when he got lice, the family had to siphon off gasoline and like wash his hair in gasoline to kill the lice. Like gnarly, I'm watching my language. Gnarly stuff. And he gave this talk, and basically it's like 2 factors of success. 1, take more risks, calculated risks. You guys are here. You're taking part of this. Congratulations and betting on yourself. It's a calculated risk. You didn't know what was going to happen, so I commend you for doing that and coming in and really giving yourself a chance. That's great. The other side is make more efforts, right? People will tell you, I don't have time, none of this, I don't have that. You know, you're full of it. You're full of shit. Got 156 hours in a week. Let's say you work 50 hours. That leaves 116 hours in a week. Let's be really, really generous here. Say you sleep 8 hours a night. Good luck with that. You're at like 62, I believe. 62 hours of free time for the week. Now, I understand there's commutes, there's cooking dinner, there's time with your significant others or kids or anything else. I understand all that, right? But it's really a matter of what is your priority. Feel like I don't have time, but they spend 3 hours watching Game of Thrones. Like you're full of it. Take more efforts, right? One of the things that he talked about is back in the day where they didn't have email service providers, right? Or people that basically could send out large amounts of emails at once, something that we do. So he was like, I sent out 250 emails individually each night to sell my supplements. He's like, you know what the biggest lesson to that was? I should have sent out 2,500. That would have actually made it work. I would have made a lot more money if I'd just done that, right? So it's like, you want to do more? Or you want to make more? Do more. Make more efforts, right? That's the basic gist. It's like people want the lazy shortcut, all this other stuff. They don't want to read the books. They don't want to do the gratitude. They don't want to grow as a person. It's like, you want more? Do more. Pretty basic, right? Just do more stuff. It'll compound over time until you take off, right? It's gonna be like there was this graph that at the GAZ event. It was like it's fascinating. It's like time versus money, and in the beginning, it's like, all right, you're spending this much time, and the money's like it's money, time. So you're spending this much time, and you're making like no money, right? Spending a ton of time making like no money, and that goes down where you're making more money and spending a lot less time, right? But that takes time. Like people are like complaining here, and they usually give up. Like, it's taking so much time, I'm not making any money. Excuse, and they stop. They're not persistent. I like that laugh. But it's like, as you keep going and you set the things up and the things start to run on autopilot, you find that one ad, you've sifted through the mud to find that golden nugget, right? The mud are those ads that don't work. There's going to be plenty of ads that don't work, but then you find that golden nugget and you scale. You're not putting in so much time, you're making a lot more money. And the flip side, yeah, it's basically the same thing. Longer you go, less time you put into it, the more money you make. It's working smarter, not harder. So that's what we're really about here. Using the software, using the systems to work smarter, not harder, but you got to keep going, right? You can't stop. Make more efforts. Because people don't succeed right away, and they're like, this isn't working for me. Well, were you awesome when you first started playing sports or music or art or your job or whatever you're good at now that you weren't great at when you started, which is pretty much everything? You're not going to be good at it at first. I'm not making $5,000 a month yet, and it's been 2 months. Like, come on. Steve, I was actually joking with Steve about this the other day. He's like, I don't feel like I'm doing that great. Bro, you made 3 sales in 2 weeks. What?
Oh yeah, he's
What?
doing great. I know.
Are you kidding?
He told me to start on.
Yeah.
Early in the house.
What's that?
He said he wants me to tell you he's sorry that he's not on tonight. He's home with no Wi-Fi. Daughter's sick.
No worries. No worries. He'll see the recording. He'll be going. Thank you for sharing that. He's great, and that's what he's doing. He's taking the actions. He's showing up. He's going the extra mile and doing the things most people aren't willing to do. Like the story he shared with me about, he's like, I don't have a laptop, so it's all on my phone. I made 3 sales in 2 weeks on my phone. No Wi-Fi. And so what do I do for the Tuesday nights and Sunday night team calls? Not tonight, but most of the time he's here. I'm outside the Denny's on their Wi-Fi in my van with the kids in the back sleeping. Like, what? That's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy.
I know. Me both.
Yeah.
I told him I didn't have a laptop. He was like, Kelsey, I don't have a laptop either. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. Yeah, I understand.
That's how you win. That's how you win, by doing stuff like that. And you know what's beautiful about that is as you start making money with this and you buy yourself a laptop to really make the business go easier, it's a business expense. That's one of the great things about being an entrepreneur. You write things off and you buy things with pre-tax money instead of post-tax money, which is a lot less, as you guys are well aware. A lot less. So anyway, cool. On to the next thing. One of the most dangerous words in the English language is someday. Someday I'll make this work. Someday I'll get my first ad out. Someday I'll read that book. Someday I'll get on the phone to make sales. Someday I'll, blah, 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 blah. Someday never comes. Someday doesn't exist. When is someday? That's someday. Someday soon. When is soon? It doesn't mean anything. You want to get things done? We gotta set deadlines. I've been guilty of this as well. Now think about it. When you were back in school, how many people got their homework done a week in advance? Just kidding. How many people waited till the last minute? And then all of a sudden, whoop, it got done. What should have taken 10 hours took 2. Bam. So one of the biggest takeaways from this event was, you want to get things done? You want to get that ad written? You want to get this book done? You want to, whatever else it is in this business, you want to learn something? You want to go to this event? Set a deadline for when you want to get it done, and then cut it in half. Because ultimately we give ourselves way more time than we need, and we're going to wait till the last minute to do it anyway. Let's be real. So it's like, just put a deadline on it and get it done, right? If you have a deadline and you can stick with that, then that actually gives you motivation to be like, all right, I'm going to finish this up. And then it gets done and you accomplish more in a week than you normally would in a year of some days. Someday. So eliminate someday from your vocabulary. You want to get things done, set deadlines for when it needs to get done. For me, a productivity hack that I learned from my mentor from this weekend. I've been doing this last 2 years now. I've been learning from him for the last 4 years now. At the end of each week, every Sunday, I'll map out the week. Like, all right, it's Monday. I want to write a new ad now. I want to read this book. I want to lift. I want to get an exercise in. I want to read this book. I want to shoot a video for Instagram. And you map it out. And you know how good it feels to go through and see those things that were written out and cross it out? Did it. Feeling of accomplishment every time. It's dopamine. I did it. And it can be really small stuff. Like, you want to start out the day with small wins. Like, one of my goals is to wake up and drink Kangen water in the morning. What do you know? Oh, I'm already winning. I already drank a glass of Kangen water. Another goal, you make your bed. Done. Oh, wow, I'm on fire right now. I made my bed and drank a glass of Kangen water. Yeah, okay. Another goal. I'm going to write down 5 things I'm grateful for. Takes a minute. Takes 2 minutes. I feel pretty good. I did another goal. That's 3 goals already in 10 minutes of waking up. Whoa. I'm crushing it. And then you go through the rest of your day like with that positive attitude. You're like, I'm doing really good things here. And you just keep moving forward that way. So you can see how powerful it is. Make sure we have the lights on. So each week you can map out like, all right, on Sunday I want to do this, which Sunday is usually for like journaling. If you guys don't journal, by the way, one of the greatest things you can do in your life is get yourself one of these things. Barnes & Noble, get yourself a nice one so you really value it. Write down thoughts, write down feelings, write down what you want to do, write down ideas that you want to work towards, write down things that you want to get done. Because do you ever have thoughts that just keep circulating in your head for like weeks at a time? Does that ever happen? When you write it down, it's out. This is just a complete side note. It's out and allows you to be present in the moment and focus on things that actually matter instead of thinking, what's for dinner? How do I feel about this? I had this argument at work today and it's making me feel down. Like, how are you going to write an ad if you're worried about what Deborah said at the water cooler? Right? Write it down and then it's out. And it allows you to focus and be present and do the things that you actually need to get done. I don't know where I was before that. Sunday deadlines, cut it in half. We only get paid for done. That's just another saying. Like, we start things and if we don't finish it, if you just start new projects and never finish, you're never going to get paid, right? Get paid, finish the ad, get it out, done. So back to the week, right? You want to schedule out what you want to accomplish each week, and it can be one thing each day. Like today, I want to watch this video on the Facebook Ads Mastery training. Great. The next day, I want to write a rough draft for the ad, right? You see how much more powerful that is than saying, oh, someday I'll write this ad, and there's no game plan to accomplish it, right? We have these different types of personalities, and I know I'm hopping all over the place. Hopefully it's all useful. People pleaser, the planner, the action taker, and the spark plug, right? We need all four of them, but it's like what degree do we have each one? People pleaser, okay, I'm nice to people, I connect with them, cool, that's all well and good. The planner, right, is really necessary because many of us here, we're action takers. We want to get things done. We want to make a difference. That's why you're here. That's why you're here to make a change, right? You're action takers. But the action taker needs a plan to act on. So this is what you're doing on Sunday nights. You're creating a plan, or Sunday afternoon or whatever else, a plan for the things you're going to get done each day so that you can actually take action on those things. Does this make sense? Perfect. And then the last one's the spark plug. It's like, all right, now it's time for starting. That's basically all it is, starting. And then once it gets done, the action taker kicks in and you just keep going. So yeah, map out the things you want to get done, right? Script it out and set those deadlines. And then you can go through, cross it out. You're going to feel so good doing that. And also, you're going to just get so much more done than you could possibly imagine. Like, you can get more done in a week than you've been getting done in a month. If you just plan it out, I guarantee you can get more done this week than you have in the last month, without a question. Perfect. So we've been going about an hour. I've been talking about a lot of different things, and I don't want to overload you guys too much here. But one last thing I will go ahead and close this with before we go into some questions, maybe go over some ads, maybe go into some other questions. We'll go for another maybe 20, 30 minutes here, is that we have an obligation to serve, and I know I touched on that earlier. We really have an obligation to help people and to serve in this community. That's really what we're doing. We're doing people a huge disservice by not selling them, and it is our obligation to help them out. So to do that, what we want to do is set way bigger goals, right? We often start in, we're like, all right, I want to come in, I want to make $5,000 a month. Cool, great. But you know what the beautiful thing, well, not beautiful, the crazy thing about our goals is? Almost every time, it's really unfortunate, we fall short. I've fallen short of my goals, like plenty short of my goals. But here's the biggest thing that we can do to change this. He's a wild man. I don't necessarily agree with a lot of what he says in life, but I do agree with something Dan Pena, the $50 billion man, says. And he's like, he took one company from $800 to like $400 million over 4 years or something. He's like, you know what my biggest regret is? That I was aiming to make like $100 million instead of aiming for 10 billion, right? It's like, that's my biggest regret. So basically, whatever your goal is now, 10x it. Like, you want to make $5,000 a month, say you want to make $50,000 a month, right? You're going to fall short anyway, but falling short of 50K a month, right? If you're going for 50K a month, or your behavior is going to be radically different than if you're shooting for 5K a month, like radically different. Now, if you fall short of 50K a month, like way short, and you're making 10K a month, it's pretty cool, right? I'm making 10K a month. I fell short of my goals, but I'm making 10K a month. Sick. But if you're shooting for 5K, you're not getting 10K. I'll tell you that. Probably not going to get 5K, right? So whatever your goals are, 10x it. Shoot for that. Take the behaviors that would be necessary to achieve that, and then you'll probably end up where you want to be anyway. So with that, oh, that was a lot. I'm going to go ahead and open the floor here to any questions, concerns, things you guys are working on, maybe taking a look at ads, dive into copy a little bit. So who wants to come out and get their stuff worked on? We'll go for another about 20 minutes here or so, and really help you guys take off in the business. So any questions, concerns, thoughts, come on out and let's see what you got.
I would love to have you take a look at my ad.
Okay.
It was in the, I actually put it in the mastermind group.
Okay.
It was just text.
So you're saying it's in the mastermind group?
So yeah, it's in the Facebook mastermind group.
Okay. Well, I was just trying to minimize the screen, but because I'm recording, it's not allowing me to do that. So are you on your laptop right now?
I am.
Okay. Can you pull up that post for us?
Sure.
And then in the bottom of Zoom, you'll see a green box. In the bottom center, it'll say share screen.
Okay. Let me find where I put it to start. And there it is. All right. I don't know how.
And Carol, I appreciate you bringing this up because it's always interesting every week when we take a look at people's ads. For example, James, a few weeks back, we were looking at Steve's ad. I believe we looked at Jonathan's ad as well. And James was not even having his ad reviewed, but he was there and he saw the review. And he switched some things up based on what other people's ads were. And he cut his lead cost down by like 500%. Right? So thank you for having the courage to share this. As you guys are also watching this, you're going to learn a lot in addition. All right. Enagic Kangen Facebook ad. So,
well, let me tell you what I did with it.
Yes, please.
I followed the outline in the, I went through the all the Facebook mastery, and I went ahead and I have on my wall next to my desktop, not my laptop, I have the items of attention, pain and problem, pleasure, solution, and then call to action.
Okay.
For me, it was really helpful to be able to break it down.
Great.
To be able to do that. So that's what, so when you see attention,
Yep. Gotcha.
I'm anticipating this right here would be my,
Gotcha. Okay.
would be my header, if you will.
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, so I would say only for the sake of Facebook, I think that's a lot more catchy to say, do you hate working for someone else? In Facebook eyes, they do not like that. So if you say dislike, that's a different word.
Oh yeah, the word hate.
Yeah. Yeah,
I didn't even think about that.
little stuff, really little stuff that.
Yeah, you're right. They don't like the word hate.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is why these team calls are so big. Plus the words that you use in your Facebook ads, Facebook's so smart with their targeting. It'll literally use those words to go find people that use those words in their posts. So if you're talking about being broke and having no money, you're going to attract people that are broke and have no money. So that's frustrated is good. Frustrated is good. We don't want to be mentioning that other stuff, which I'm not saying in here. That's just a side note. Endless frustration of who is this for? Before we dive in, who are you writing?
Well, my avatar is, let me go down to the bottom. I'm targeting the lesbian, gay, transgender community, anywhere between, I put 25 and 55. I'm quite unique compared to the rest of the people in the group.
Okay.
I'm 60, I have no problem telling you my age. I'm 61 years old. I have been start and stop on several different businesses. And I finally came to realize in 2015 that this is where everything is at. I've learned how to do all kinds of stuff technology-wise because you guys are, y'all have no clue how lucky you are. I just
a brief idea. Like,
you have no clue. You have no clue.
You're right.
I never had the opportunity y'all have.
Yes.
And
Yes.
what's out there for you to grab and get is just phenomenal.
It's unbelievable.
So my idea, and it could be too many, could be too many years, but there are people out there that are just like me,
Yeah.
who are frustrated. I've been in the same industry for almost 40 years.
Wow.
And I'm up to my yin-yang in it. I'm tired of it. And that's what I was attempting to say here.
Okay.
So
Great.
I basically threw this out knowing that I have no problem, rip it apart. I'm used to writing more technical novels. Copywriting for me is probably where I suffer the most because I have to learn how to talk in that fashion. So anyway, does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense. Thank you for sharing. That's amazing. And welcome. Now, have you heard anything like the things we've been talking about tonight? A little different than you've been hearing in the rest of the industry for 40 years?
No, I think to some extent, yes, because when I was growing up, you got a college education.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, you're a woman, you go and you get married and you have children. Not me. I have children. I have 5 dogs. Okay. I'm married, but a little bit less traditional.
Okay.
Standard. So I've always been a person who kind of bucked the pattern anyway. But in terms of what you discussed tonight, yes, very similar, but you didn't have as much emphasis on really teaching people or somebody really wanting to learn how to do online sales.
Mm-hmm.
Because nothing was done with video unless you were watching the television. So you paid, ads for TV. So what's cool about this is the fact that I've embraced Facebook. I've embraced all the different media.
Great.
And that kind of thing, because that's where it's at. That's where it's going.
Yeah.
And my generation, you're either, some people have really embraced it, others have not. And so for me, I want to be able to do something to use my years of experience of what I've done from a business standpoint, but doing something else other than what I have been doing.
Perfect.
And so anyway, so my frustration that you're seeing in here is working for someone who has their own thoughts, doesn't want to listen to you, doesn't want to, and I'm tired of that. I'm tired of bucking up against the brick wall and the red tape.
Perfect.
Stuff. So that's what this.
Excellent. So we want to kind of talk to that kind of audience in the beginning, which you have a great start here with, do you hate working for someone else? Just because we want to get rid of hate, I might say tired of working for someone who, it sounds like you're talking about, doesn't appreciate the work you're doing, maybe doesn't appreciate or let you creatively express yourself. What would the verbiage be? I'll encourage you to think of this in your own time. We're gonna keep going down this a little bit, but what would the verbiage be that they're using that you can really capture their attention with? If you hate working for someone else is a great start. We want to take that to the next level and really connect with them on some of the things that you were just talking about, such as they're not giving you the freedom.
Anton, the man.
So,
Anton's my buddy.
Video
Yeah. So yeah, definitely dive deeper into that. Especially in the first sentence, you want to really call out to and grab those people's attention that you're talking to. Something that I've done that usually captures attention is putting kind of a couple words of who we're talking to in the first couple. Like the first couple words is like, for me, former athletes. I say former athletes, colon, or
Right.
what you love for a living is easy, or doing something you love for a living is easier than you think, something like that. No, loving what you do for a living is easier than you think, something like that. So it calls out the person I'm talking to in the beginning. Now, unfortunately, you can't say like lesbian, gay, or if you want to do that, Facebook won't allow that.
Right.
But you kind of really want to speak to them and speak in their words that are going to do that. Something else I'll notice here is the new paragraphs. You want to put some extra spacing in there, one more space in between so it really separates, because 90% of traffic is going to be on mobile. And when they see a brick wall of text, it's very intimidating. So the more spaced out, especially with the attention spans now, the more spaced out it is, the better, or the more engaging it is.
Basically just copy and pasted.
Okay.
I wasn't worrying about the formatting, but thank you
Great.
for that.
Absolutely.
I'll make sure to do that.
Absolutely. That's how I felt too. All right. So you want to like kind of open a loop in the beginning, right? That's like something that's unfinished that they want to read about. So when you say that's how I felt too, that's a great opportunity to be like, until I found the one thing that transformed my life. Like, I'd even put in a little more of who you are.
Okay.
Like as someone who's
About spending so many years in.
yeah. Plus that gives you credibility, right? I'd also target a little older audience. Like take away the 25 and something, because you're really speaking to an older crowd. They're going to connect with you a little better. As someone who's been in the workforce for 40 years or whatever else, trying to make this work, that's how I felt too, until I found something that changed my life forever, until I found the one thing that made a shift, or until I realized the digital economy or the new age of creating an income or something like that, something that's really going to draw them in. And then you leave that open. You don't tell them what until is until later in the ad, right?
Okay.
And that's what draws them in. That's saying, okay, there's not just a problem here. There's going to be a solution later. And then you can be, that's how I felt too. And like, as someone who's been trying to, or frustrated for 40 years in the workforce, that's how I felt too. Until I found the one thing that allowed me to tap into the digital economy. Something like that. But before I get that, but it wasn't always this way, or something like that. I used to come home from work exhausted and angry, right? Because you want to say like, I got your attention. Now we open the loop for something that they're going to continue to read to find out about. And I have a solution for you lower, but it wasn't always this way. Story, which it sounds like you've got that. Story has started here because you really want to connect with people and make them realize, like, wherever you are now, I was in a worse situation, or I am where you are now, or I'm nothing special, right? Right? Because they got to believe that they can do it. They might just believe you're some crazy internet guru, and we know that's not true for me either, right? But it's like, how can we connect with them and make them believe that they can do this too? So, that'll be a great thing to open a loop, to keep them reading. I would probably keep it to one question as well in the beginning, one really hard-hitting question, like we were talking about, instead of making that two. Another idea I pitched to the boss was tossed out without my consideration. Cool. Frustrated. Nice. Those are good words. You want to words like angry, like frustrated, like exhausted. That's all great. I see that you're picking up on some of that stuff from Facebook Ads Mastery. That's great. Decent salary, it just wasn't enough. Wanted to make a difference in people's lives, but here I was stuck doing the things the way someone else thought they should be done. Yet our clients weren't happy, my coworkers weren't happy, I certainly wasn't happy. Now you want to make this sort of like a conversation. So it's basically communicate. This is what you learn in like copywriting and influence and persuasion. And really, you see how during this call even tonight, just as an example, we're trying to engage and get you guys to speak and go back and forth and make this a conversation instead of me just speaking at you, right? That creates more engagement. It keeps people listening. It keeps people around and giving attention. And so that's a great place to interject a question or something that's like, this is me, you communication. This is us speaking together. So it's like, yet our clients weren't happy. My coworkers weren't happy. I certainly wasn't happy. You can add something really short there to be like, no, we're having a conversation here. I'm not just speaking at you, which would be something like, you know what I mean? Question mark. You ever been? Question mark.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking to one person. You're not speaking to an audience. You're speaking to one person. One specific avatar. Great. So that'll be a nice little booster. I would go home from work and complain to my wife, my friends, and anyone who would listen about how miserable I was, but that didn't help. All I did was consume my thoughts and make me more and more angry. Ever been there? I started having trouble sleeping.
Okay.
I had stopped exercising and playing the one sport that I truly loved, golf.
Yeah, and this is where part of what I was going to do with the avatar was going after, and I didn't know, because I have been frustrated, the fact I haven't played golf like I wanted to.
Yeah, that's great.
And so I didn't know if it was okay to throw that in here or not,
Yeah, I think that's great.
if I'm mixing too much together. Okay,
No, because it's connecting with you as a person.
okay,
And we're not selling GAZ. We're not selling a product. They don't care.
right.
So no, I think this is great. Always helped me forget about all the other things that were wrong in my life, playing golf and stuff. Okay, that I would maybe cut down on. That backstory doesn't matter. About
Okay.
golf since 13, all that stuff.
Okay, I just didn't feel like picking up a club. Good. Boom.
Yeah, exactly. They don't care about the backstory. You wanna relate stories in a way that connects with them and doesn't just talk about you, but really has a purpose. Like every single word in your ad should have a purpose. Like if you're speaking stories, there's a purpose behind it. Like if I want to make a sales presentation, I can start off with a story of, man, I remember in my 19-year career as an athlete, I learned from some of the greatest minds in the sport. And one of them was this guy, Wade Chalice. I wouldn't write this all out on an ad. This is an example of a sales setting, but this is an example of using stories to overcome objections and every word having a meaning. So I learned from this guy, Wade Chalice. And Wade Chalice was a world champion, pinned more world champions than anyone else in history, more collegiate athletes than anyone in history. And I remember that I was learning from him one day, and I was doing the moves that I'd learned my entire life. And he pulled me aside, and he said, Ryan, I appreciate that you're doing what your coaches have told you, but I want to ask, like, do those coaches have the results you want? It's like, no, they just competed in like high school and college. It's like, all right, cool. So something I learned in my career toward becoming an Olympian was to get where you want to go, where you can only listen to people who've been where you want to be, right? So it's like, if you want to accomplish a life that's different than the life you're currently living, you can't be listening to people that are living a life you don't want to live, right? And so it's like, in that context, I would be like, you want to listen to people who've been where you want to live. You want to listen to people who are living the life you want to do. It's very subconscious, but it's like, right? So basically that whole story comes around to authority figure said the only way to live the life that you want to live is to listen to people who've been where you want to be, right? And now it's like, okay, you can shut out what everybody else who doesn't have the life you want is saying and listen to me, right? Does that make sense?
Right.
Okay, so every word has a purpose, so you want to make sure that those stories have an impact, right? There's a meaning behind it. So it's like, what's the outcome and what's the story that I can use to help them, to help further this outcome, to help them agree with me. And it could be, we won't dive too deep into that. Hopefully that was a good example to start. We don't have too much time to go deep into that stuff, but that's the general gist, right? Come up with a story that has a purpose towards exactly what you want them to do, whether that's listening to you, whether that's learning from a new mentor, whether that's doing something different than what you've always done, right? Everything should have a purpose. So let's keep going here. Well, because I was allowing my frustrations of working for someone else to consume my thoughts and actions. Cool. In 2015 article, internet marketing, how to start my own business, be my own boss, implement my own ideas, stop feeling so lousy, angry all the time. Your create my own destiny. What would life be like if we could be in control of our own destiny? Question. These are just interjections. They don't need to be everywhere. Just
Right.
things that. Living in Texas at the time. Okay, so just a little too much backstory here.
Right.
Decided we wanted to move our families back to Florida because everything relates back to them. If it doesn't relate back to them and you're just talking about yourself, they don't care. They're going to leave. I wanted to be in an environment where I wasn't having to go to work every day for a job, being more and more miserable and frustrated by the minute. Okay, so 6 weeks. Guess what happened? I was laid off. I was losing my job, reservation, just purchased. I bought it. Didn't know if he was surviving anything even worse. The burden was shifted slowly to my wife. Felt so inadequate. Great. So again, it's going to go through and remove every detail that's not completely necessary. You want to. This is great that you have all this out. The guy that we were learning from this weekend, he's got this framework for copywriting, which is write like an arsonist, edit like a judge, right? Put it all on paper. Don't edit yourself as you're going through. Don't be like, I don't like that word, blah, blah, blah. It takes forever to go through. Just put it all out on paper and then go through and cut out any unnecessary words. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Perfect. Overwhelmed, very upset at the whole situation. Okay, you're doing a good job with like putting a lot of emotion and stuff in there. It just seems like some of the points are kind of redundant. So again, like just cut out anything you can. This is great, by the way. This is a great, well-written advertisement. I'm just pointing out the things that can be made even better because this is already great. That was the last time I was going to work for something else. But how? Start reading. But how? Like you can add a little interjection statement. Well, I'm about to show you, right? ... Keep reading. Oh, what do you know? This is stuff you read in like hypnotic writing and many other things. But basically, it's a slippery slope, right? Like think of it like you're making a series, like a TV series, right? You know how at the end of every TV show they'll leave a cliffhanger. It's
Right.
like, oh, what's happening? What's next? And then you're like, next time you'll discover blah 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 blah, right? And so it's like you'll never guess what happened next. Oh my God, I need to keep reading, right? So that's basically what we're doing here. You want them to keep going.
Okay.
Rooming, spend countless hours jumping at internet marketing. Go read the next success. Decided to attend one last seminar. Decided to give one last chance. Just had to make this work. Couldn't go back. Okay. Just a little too much detail, but it's really good stuff. I just couldn't let my wife shoulder the burden. Great. They're going to be able to relate to that. Seminar saved my life because personal formula, 6 figures, just a few months. Okay. I would eliminate that specific with time frame. Facebook's not going to like that. They recently hit me with that with some disapproved ads. And I just shifted the putting a time frame on it, and that changed everything. So you can't say 6 figures in just a few months.
Okay. I wondered about that. I just threw all this out there.
This is great.
It
really is excellent. I'm literally just going through and cutting out anything else and making it even better.
Right.
So there's a lot of really, really good things in here. I really want that to be clear. You've done a really good job here. I'm super, super impressed. This is amazing. You followed the training very well. This is just like, how can we make it even better? And it's brand new, right? It's something you've never done before.
So what would you change he was using to make?
Yeah.
What?
Yep. So what I would say is creating an income. comparable to doctors and lawyers, or something like
Okay.
creating an income I couldn't even believe, like you wouldn't even believe me if I told you. Something like that. Creating a crazy income, you wouldn't even believe me if I told you. To be honest, at first I was skeptical. Sweet, very good, because they're going to be skeptical. You're meeting them where they're at. That's awesome. The more and more he showed me the formula he was using, the more and more I became confident. A simple. I would also add like 3-step formula, because your landing page is going to be the 3-step formula.
Okay. Yeah, because I have the 3-step. Okay.
Yep. It's all about congruency.
Okay.
Let's see. The more he showed me the formula he was using, the more I was confident. At that moment, I knew my life was changed forever. I would say my life is going to change forever.
Okay.
It's hard. It's just hard to know right away. They might be like, really? You knew right then? Just because like people are looking for an excuse to not believe you. People are skeptical as hell. They're reading your ad and they're skeptical. They're closed-minded, right?
Right.
They're looking for one excuse to be like, this isn't going to work for me, or I get to click off, right? And so you just want to make sure everything, basically you're not saying too many things where they're like, no, I don't believe that. I'm out.
Gotcha.
Just a few days. I went from being insecure about making money online, ready to quit. Setting up a new online business, position you not like great living, give me freedom of boss, great. And the best part, it's incredibly easy to set up. Masterclass secrets. That would allow me to come and job and do the things I want to do just by using a simple 3-step process. Same 3-step process I'm about to show you. 100% free.
Yeah, and I didn't know if I should do that because I know
Yes.
Facebook goes kind of crazy with that too.
I believe free should absolutely be in the ad.
Yeah, you want me to leave it in there? It's okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I make that very clear. Yeah, people don't want to be paying for a webinar. So that's great. Best part, training is different. Carefully walking through strategies and implement and register and receive training from my business partners. I would say my business partner is Landon and Stapes.
Okay, you want me to go ahead and put their names in there?
Yeah, just like not like Landon Stewart and Chris Stapleton, like Landon.
Right. Landon
Oh, they're
Stapes.
relatable. Who's Landon and Stapes? Okay, that'll be interesting. Just because
Okay.
now they're getting what they expected. They're getting exactly what you
Right.
told them, right? Again, they're looking for any reason to not believe you and hop out. It's like, oh, they gave me exactly what they told me they were going to give me. That creates stress. So yeah, just then instead show you that they quit the job, travel the world, and provide for their family without ever worrying. Great. I'll bet I know what you're thinking. It's just another internet marketing that won't live up to the hype. Just discover how to start and grow your own internet marketing business using a proven, simple formula. Okay, so that you'll discover how to start and grow your own internet marketing business using a proven, simple formula. That was on the old landing page. We want to pretty much lay out the exact words on the landing page. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, see how we quit our jobs and travel the world using our simple 3-step formula, I believe is what it is. Off the top of my head. So I would have.
Yeah, it's hard to get to the landing page unless you yourself go on it. Or where is the copy? One of the questions I had, the actual, like the background copy, I had to go in and sign up myself to get to what it actually said. I think.
Okay, great. So you're going to go in the GAZ back office, and I'll just have you write this down because we don't want to.
Okay.
We're going to have to start wrapping this call up. I hope everyone watching has gotten a ton out of breaking down Carol's ad. There's a lot of strategies that you can apply to your own ad here. But basically, you go into the GAZ back office. It's going to be under your affiliate center, affiliate links, and it'll be the Landon and Stapes 3 steps to 6 figures link, I believe. So you can just copy that and paste it in a new tab, see what the copy is. I would actually recommend going through their webinar as well, seeing what they're talking about.
Yeah, I did do that.
Perfect. For everybody else, do that as well. So you can take some of the things they're talking about and apply that to your ad. Atlanta States have been at this a long time. See the desires they're talking about, see the pain points they're talking about, and use those, right? So it's congruent. So yeah, use the copy from that landing page somewhere in here. I would probably have it above, like above the first call to action. Like in that training, you're going to see how we go to jobs and travel the world using our simple 3-step formula. And the best part is you can register here for free. Yada yada. Link. That make sense?
Yep, I got it. Okay. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Tell you guys, I've tried to do a lot of this stuff. You guys are the bomb. GZ is that's the best Facebook ads training I have ever seen. I've seen several, and because and just like what you just did there, I truly believe this was why I was not as successful.
Yes.
Because even though you know, I appreciate your comments, but I know something's missing, and everything that you brought up, I understand what you're saying, because the words matter without a doubt, and how you guys have laid it out is just excellent.
Perfect. Thank you, Carol. And you know what's beautiful about what you just said is now everybody has the opportunity, if they're talking to other people, they can say, and Carol, who has 40 years of experience, said that this is the best Facebook ads I've ever seen. Right?
That's right.
That just gives so much more credibility. Like, use that. Use quotes.
You can use it. Doesn't bother me any.
It's great. Yeah. So thank you, Carol. Very glad to hear that. Okay, so let's go ahead and unshare the screen. I'll go ahead and wrap this up. Perfect. For those of you guys still on here, thank you for sticking around. Hopefully you got some great mindset stuff out of tonight. Really move forward. Just to kind of review what we talked about. The first thing was our environment is destiny, right? To new environments create new breakthroughs. So we really want to go through, take an inventory of the people we're spending the time with, and kind of edit our relationships with some people. May need to cut some people out of our lives that are kind of preventing us from going to the next level, but editing the relationship with other people and just saying, okay, we talk about this, or when you talk about that, I'll just smile, not agree, then do whatever the fuck I was going to do anyway, because you need to be around positive environments, and part of that is showing up to these team calls. Congratulations being here. Continue to do that Tuesdays, Wednesdays. Make sure that you're showing up, being around these environments that are raising you up. We talked about sales being serving, right? We are doing people a favor. We are doing people a service. We are helping people, and we have an obligation to help people by getting them into GZ or Nagic. We're doing them a huge disservice if we don't. Sales is not something slimy. It is to serve. So we are here to serve, to give value to people, to help people. And as a side effect, it's just an exchange of value, which is money. That is what we're doing here. And when we go through with that mindset, it's a lot easier to be able to sell, which is the lifeblood of this business. If no sales are made, if no money changes hands, nobody's lives shift. They don't get to make their own breakthroughs. They don't get to be on Sunday night team calls like this. You don't make the income that you know you deserve and are here for, and nothing happens. So keeping that in mind, we are serving people here. You're working on the high value, high income skill of copywriting. So go through, start reading the copywriting books, whether that's the free in the file section of the GZ Facebook group, Hypnotic Writing, whether that's Influence or many others. Study that high income skill. And obviously, we talked about if you want to get there quicker, take more actions, take more efforts. So go through, read these books, make the efforts, do what needs to get done, and congratulations on taking the risks of being here, the calculated risks of doing that. Let's see, little side benefit, clean audio, good lighting for our videos, and we really want to make sure that I'm just kind of going through here, making sure we got everything, that we never say someday, right? Someday is one of the most dangerous words in the English language. You want to get things done, map it out on Sunday, map out where you're going to get done, or Monday, or whatever the best day is for you. Map out you want to get done, set deadlines for when you're going to do things, whether that's watching a training video, whether that's writing a first draft in an ad, whether that's editing, whether that's making a video or anything else. You want to get things done, map it out, go through, cross it out, accomplish little goals every day, like drinking a glass of common water and making your bed and getting off to a great start, going in with an attitude of gratitude. And lastly, we want to set bigger goals, right? because we're often going to fall short. So if we're aiming for 5K a month, we're going to fall short at 2K. If we're aiming for 50K and we fall short at 10K, we're doing a whole lot better and we're still making 10K a month. So set bigger goals. Then we went over some ad copy that Carol has put together for us that was already a great start, and go ahead and implement some of the that high ticket, high income skill set to be able to really make a few simple shifts to be able to hopefully 10x the income, 10x the results of the ad itself. So with that, thank you guys for sticking around. Hopefully you got a lot out of tonight. Really appreciate you. Thank you everyone for speaking up, by you being here, by you showing up, by Carol, by you showing your ad. That's able to benefit everybody who goes through and watches the replay as they shift and make those adjustments to their ads themselves. Helps the whole team. So guys, look forward to seeing you hopefully next Sunday night. Hopefully we'll talk to you before that. Much love and appreciation. With that, I'm going to close this meeting out. Everybody have a great Sunday.
Thanks, guys.
Take it easy.